Please make it loud for Josh Johnson!
When I was a kid, our class had a bully, and I'm just gonna call him John, right? And John, he bullied everybody in like a very run-of-the-mill way. Like this was very standard bullying, like slap the books out your hand. What's that? It was blow, right? And I think one of the reasons we let him get away with it wasn't just because he was a little bit bigger than all of us, but his voice changed first. And it changed so young, we didn't know what to do with that. Like, we didn't know that was coming for the rest of us. So then John would just walk up like, give me your homework. And I'd be like, that sounds like the devil. So, because I'm not equipped with holy water today, you gonna get this math homework. And there was another kid in our class, Reeve. And Reeve... I'm not gonna say he didn't have any friends, but Reeve had friends for like 20 minutes at a time because Reeve was one of the singular most annoying people I'd ever met in my entire life. It was almost to the level of a skill or a talent. It was absolutely insane. As an example, right? Reeve loved anime, and that's fine. I love anime too, but Reeve loved anime in a way that I didn't love anime because I at least know anime not real. Reeve loved anime to the point where he was letting it affect how he runs. Some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like he could never do anything regular. He had to do it anime every time. He could never just turn around. He had to be like, you ask Reeve a question, he doesn't know the answer. He can't just think about it. He has to go, It's like... As a fellow anime lover, I'm like, dog, chill. You making us look bad. Stop. Please. Oh. No, it was insane. And one day, we were at lunch, and Reeve was trying to make his carton of milk explode, right? With his powers. And so he holding his hand over the carton of milk, not touching it, holding it over. Nothing happening because it's not real. He finally gets so tired of waiting for the powers to activate that he grabbed the milk, squeeze it, drop it, and go, I did it. I did it. Y'all just didn't see it when I did it. But yeah, I did it. Ooh, I got it. Now, when he picked it up and he crushed it, milk went everywhere. And a lot of milk just spurted out and landed all over John. And John stood up, turned around, walked up to Reeve, towering over him, and was like, you got milk on me. We gonna fight later. And never before in my young life had I been so excited for violence. Because as word spread, people were taking sides. They were like, no, John gonna kill Reeve. And we're like, no, Reeve weird. I bet you he gonna scratch him to death. Like he has that X factor. We might be able to get rid of both of them at the same time. And so after school, we gathered around in a little circle in front of the two of them. They're about to fight, right? And John is like lumbering back and forth. And we knew John was strong, but he also, he moved slow. And he was moving slow pre-fight. He was just stalking back and forth like Mike Tyson in the early 90s, just like ready to do something terrible, right? And then on the other side of this imagined ring, Reeve is using his pre-fight time to power up. I've watched a lot of anime, and I've never seen what this child did next. Because to power up, the first thing he did was let his knees buckle. What is this? What power are you drawing from the earth right here like this? This doesn't make any sense at all. He over here, knees buckled, arms out. This is not how you power up in any anime. This is how you fall down the stairs if you a slinky. All right? And this boy here, like this, doing the power up yell. Oh! And then the fight starts, and the fight starts with Reeve attacking John, right? Coming right at him, but he coming at him in the power-up stance. So he over, oh! And admittedly, John didn't know what to do. He really was like, oh. And so they start fighting, and kind of what we thought was gonna happen happens. John is big, he's strong, but he telegraphs all his punches, and he's slow. Boom, but he's missing, right? And Reeves attacks. Reeves' attacks have a lot of energy to them. That's not really going anywhere. Like, instead of punching, he over here, yeah! And so he's fast enough getting out of John's way, but he's not doing any damage. And so John over here punching air, and Reeve over here throwing air. So it's not really a fight. But I really was gathered around all those people, shoulder to shoulder, watching two of them go at it like fight. First time in my life. Fight. So when I think about Elon and Trump, right? It's like it's like one of the most insane bouts I've ever watched take place in my life. In case you haven't heard, Elon and Trump are fighting. And it's like Christmas came early and twice. Like, the only person calling for peace is Kanye West. That's crazy. It's crazy. And we knew that this thing was bound to happen, you know? Because you have to think of who Elon is as a person and who Trump is as a person, right? And it's wild because one, richest man in the world, one, most powerful man in the world and everything, but they had a shaky alliance from the start because I don't think we gave Trump in the moment enough credit for how nice he was being to Elon. He was very nice to Elon. You know? Because Elon, weird. Wait. Elon weird, and Trump didn't say anything about it the entire time, acting like he didn't see it. Like, that's not who he is as a person. Trump is a natural bully. Like, that's what he does, you know? And he was very nice to Elon by omission. I'm not just talking about what he said, because Trump is always using superlatives if he likes you. If he likes you, you're the best, smartest, most amazing that's ever done it, right? That's how he speaks. But he was nice to Elon by what he didn't say. Because you got to remember, Donald Trump is the same man who roasted the supreme leader of North Korea to his face. I don't know if y'all remember, it was like 2018 or something, and Kim Jong-un and him met up to have dinner and like talks and stuff like that, and there was a photographer there taking pictures of both of them before they sat down for the dinner, and Trump turned to the photographer and was like, "You making us all look nice and handsome and thin?" A lot of people think Kim Jong-un doesn't speak or understand English. He understands English. He consumes a lot of American media. And Kim Jong-un was even standing there like, did he? He know I kill people, right? Like, that same guy was very nice to Elon. And he was nice to Elon by omission because Elon jumped in front of Trump. You saw the jump. The world saw the jumps. Trump invited Elon on stage, and Elon walked on stage like, this man showed bottom belly in front of Donald Trump. This grown man showed full belly button, broad daylight in front of Donald Trump, and Trump said nothing. Acted like he didn't see it. Just let that dude start talking right after. That was wild. You know, Elon jumped because he was excited. And he was excited because what was about to happen had never happened before. Never before, right? Obviously, Elon, richest man in the world, and as long as there's been money infused in politics, the wealthy have had a ton of influence. That's nothing new. What was about to happen was unprecedented. This rich man was about to actually get to go in the government himself. No back channels, no liaisons. He was going to go in the government himself. He was going to end every investigation into him and his companies. He was going to fire everyone investigating. He was very excited. And I guess he was more excited than any president we've ever had because all of our presidents have kept their feet on the ground the entire time. There's no old footage of Kennedy like, it doesn't exist. There's no portrait of Thomas Jefferson like, no, get the one where he was getting air. That was... This man jumped in front of Donald Trump. Trump said nothing. Elon laughed in front of Trump. As someone who has traveled the world and continues to travel the world, making people laugh, I've heard all types of laughs. And believe me when I tell you, Elon laughed like he throwing up. Watch any interview Elon does where he makes a joke, because only he will get it, and then he starts laughing, and he's just sitting there like, you know, it's because comedy is you know, it's funny with jokes. This man laughed in front of Donald Trump. Trump said nothing. Elon danced in front of Donald Trump. Elon danced like... Elon danced like he gotta look at each body part first to give it permission to move. Like, it is truest that he'll be there. In front of Donald Trump. And Trump didn't say a word. That's like sitting Eminem down in front of a yacht going 40 knots, holding 30 thoughts who are each holding bulbs that are 20 watts, and he can't rap about it at all. That's his whole thing. It's wild that he's not saying anything. He is being very nice to Elon. And I knew it wasn't gonna hold. Everybody knew it was gonna fall apart. We didn't know when, but we knew it was a short-lived alliance. And it was short-lived, in my opinion, for two reasons. All right? The first one is that you cannot ever watch someone treat everyone terribly and think that that doesn't mean they'll do the same thing to you under the right conditions. You know what I mean? And I should be clear here. I'm not talking about someone who has a bad day, someone who's in a bad way at the moment. We're all human. People have bad days. I'm talking about someone who, by and large, treats people terribly, but is nice to you. It's only for right now. As soon as you're in the position the other people are in, they'll treat you the same way. And if you don't think so, you're a fool. And both of them, without exception, think that they are the exception. Oh no, I've seen him scream at everybody and, treat them like trash. It won't happen to me though. All right? One has the most money in the world. One has the most power in the world. But neither one of them have respect for anybody. And the three things that men like them seek, and I think that they seek them because maybe they're the only things that they care about, or maybe they truly believe that if they get these three or enough of them, everything else will fall into place. But men like these men are obsessed with money, power, and respect. You can't have all the money in the world, you can have all the power in the world, but a lot of people conflate fear with respect. And they're not the same thing. You can be afraid of what someone could do to you with all of their money. It doesn't mean you respect them. You can be afraid of what someone can do to you with all of their power. It doesn't mean that you respect them. And you know it because as soon as the money is gone, the respect is gone. As soon as the power is gone, the respect is gone. And there are plenty of people. There are plenty of people I've known growing up in my life, men that I looked up to who did not have any money. And they didn't have any more power than enough to control themselves, but I respected them because of how they treated people, how they carried themselves. And respect is the one thing, one of many, that can't be bought and it can't be forced. And neither one of them really get that. And they don't respect anyone. So eventually this was going to come to a head. And I knew it was starting because Elon truly believes, he's even said so, that he bought Trump that election. He spent $250 to $280 million in the election. He believes, look, you lost the last one, you won this one. I'm the difference. I'm the deciding factor. I got you that election. And you're not going to convince a man like Donald Trump that you got him anything. He's like, that's my base. Those are my voters. They like me. They don't like you. You didn't get me anything. I'll gladly take your money, but you didn't get me the election. I got it myself. That was always going to be a sticking point. And so then Elon took that belief and he took it to a local race in Wisconsin. Right? And he was even doing like little $1 million raffles if you vote for the person who wants you to vote for. It was very confusing how it worked. Like I didn't get it at all. And he even went to Wisconsin, was stumping for this person, was there in Wisconsin. And then the candidate that he backed lost by double digits. And it's because people see how much money he has. He's the richest man in the world, but they don't like or respect him. He hurt that candidate by being there and by doing those raffles. It would be like if someone came to you, and let's say in this scenario, you're working and you're doing all right, you're getting by, and maybe sometimes it's paycheck to paycheck, things get rough, right? But someone comes up to you and they're like, hey, you just won the lottery. And you're like, what? I didn't even enter. Don't worry, we got you. What? How much did I win? $1 billion. Going from paycheck to $1 billion, that's That's crazy. And you're like, there's got to be a catch. I didn't enter any lottery. What do I have to do? And they're like, that's simple. You just have to hang out with Elon for the rest of your life. And at least based on what those people did in Wisconsin, they were like, you know what? Actually, my job at McDonald's is perfect. I really like being customer facing. I like the rapport I have with my coworkers. Just keep that money and him away from me, please. Because he could not buy the race, because as much money, don't get me wrong, $1 million, ton of money. That's a ton of money. And people have done way worse for less, but at a certain point, people reach their breaking point. And they're like, no, I have enough respect for myself, I have enough respect for my community, for my state, to not just vote this way, just for some money from a guy who I know is a bad actor, you know? And once that happened, I knew it was probably up for Elon. Because he lost that race. He hurt that candidate by going there. And if there's one thing Donald Trump hates, is a loser. And you could see some of the shine wearing off of Elon. Because initially, when the administration started, they protected Elon heavy. Anybody said anything about him, anybody did anything, they were on it like that immediately. But then Elon started getting on people's nerves. You know, initially, when they won, somebody would ask a question, they'd shut it down to the media. Elon is a patriot. He's helping clear this government of waste, fraud, and abuse. You leave Elon alone. And then people started to rebel against Elon specifically through Tesla. Tesla's stock started plummeting. People stopped buying Teslas. And then people started vandalizing Teslas. They started blowing up Teslas. And then Pam Bondi came on the news and was like, if you vandalize a Tesla, we will find you. We will prosecute you. They were helping Elon a lot. Trump even turned the front of the White House into like a dealership for a day. And he had Elon there, right? They were doing their best to help Elon. But then, as you saw the months go by, they started mentioning him less. You started seeing them together less. You could tell this thing was waning. And then, how I know that they had stopped protecting him, his 130 days was up as the Doge, like, daddy or whatever. Like, I don't know what this job is. Like, depending on who you ask on what day, he's like an advisor, but he's the leader, but he's not involved. It's like, it's all very weird, but he can only do it for 130 days because as America, we only have like 3 laws left, and one of them is that you can't be in a made-up position for more than 130 days. And so it was like time. And so it was time for him to go, right? And it being time for him to go, he asked Trump if he could stay. And Trump was like, dang, man. No, we only have so many, like, bathrooms in here. Like, it wouldn't work, you know? I imagine Trump had the reaction that you would have if the worst person you know asked if they could live with you for a little while. Just like, oh, dang, my place just flooded just now. That's right when you asked me too. That's crazy. I know we're not there, but I can feel with my bed underwater. Like, it's just a thing I have. So you should probably find somewhere for both of us to stay, because I need somewhere to stay too. Find a place for both of us to stay and you just stay there. That would be great. And so Elon, shows up for his last day at work, and the president is in the Oval Office with him, honoring him, giving him a key to nowhere. And one of the ways I knew they had stopped protecting Elon is because there were like 2 publications that came out, one the day before he left Doge, one the day of, and both those publications, from like high caliber written journalism, basically said, headline contents were basically, did y'all know he was a crackhead? Like, he'd been a crackhead. That's crazy. Elon a full crackhead. I had no idea. They were listing the drugs he was doing. They're like, he does cocaine, he does mushrooms, some hallucinogens and everything, ketamine. Horses can't keep up with Elon. Like, he really out here a full crackhead. That's wild. And then, to prove the doubters, the detractors what Elon would call the full-blown liars wrong, he showed up to the Oval Office for his last day of work, higher than his rockets go. This man was in the Oval Office standing next to the President of the United States, tweaking. This man was over here hitting he looked like he arguing 5 minutes into the future. It was wild to watch. This man over... could not stop moving. At one point, the only, like, you have to watch the video, but like the only way I could describe it is he felt like a slow Michael Jackson, right? Like just, he was just over here like, it was insane. This man next to the president cracking out, and Trump said nothing. And then he left, you know. He left, and I'll admit to you right now, I thought it was like a PR stunt. I really did. I thought that he was leaving, and then he'd just keep running Doge in the background, and this would take some of the heat off of him. Now you wouldn't think of him so directly. People wouldn't attack his businesses so hard, because in the time that he entered politics to present, he's lost somewhere around like $100 billion or something like that. And it's all like a valuation thing. It goes up and down, but you could see that at least the boards of the businesses that he was on are genuinely worried, even if he doesn't care. So I thought he was gonna leave politics for a little while, keep working in the shadows, maybe the stock would go up a little bit, but nothing would really change. And it turns out that was not the case. He had really been getting on people's nerves. Like hard. And you saw it with Trump. They used to always, be talking about Elon, mention him, to not mentioning him at all. And then the people that Elon had to deal with, it wasn't really Trump as much as the actual cabinet, and they couldn't stand that dude. They hated that dude so much. And so he's really out. And you hear reports, now this stuff is all hearsay, I don't know if any of it is true, but apparently he was having shouting matches with Marco Rubio all the time. All of these cabinet people that Trump got in, Elon has had a spat with most of them, right? Scott Bessent, apparently him and Elon almost got in an actual fight. Scott Bessent doesn't look like he can fight. If you... If you don't know what Scott Bessent look or sound like, just imagine if like printer paper came to life. Like and Elon was truly out. He was out, and one thing really stuck out to me. It was the fact that Elon and Trump share a sort of lived experience where they're not used to hearing no and it's sticking. No is usually an inconvenience to a yes for them. They usually get their way. And so for Elon to be told no, and then he was actually sidelined, and then things that he wanted to happen weren't happening. He wanted some dude that he recommended to be the head of NASA. Trump said no. And then there were things that Elon didn't like because he felt like apparently they were undercutting all his work, like Trump's big, beautiful bill it's named the Big Beautiful Bill because imagination. And Elon has hated that thing, I guess, for a while. Just the idea of it. It's almost universally despised. Democrats obviously hate it, and Republicans also hate it, but for different reasons. They don't care that it's like gutting, programs and whole agencies, and that we're all gonna die. They don't like it because it raises the deficit anywhere from $3 to $5 trillion, right? And so it takes about 4 or 5 days. And then Elon tweets. He's like, I can't stand it anymore. I cannot stand it anymore. This bill is a disgusting abomination. And everybody in the House that voted for it, you know you did wrong, right? And Trump said nothing. I was like, did he find God or something? Like what is happening? This is not the dude we know. He attacks those who attack him. And he's finally asked about it. He's asked about it in a press conference, and they tell him exactly what Elon said. And he's like, I'm really disappointed with Elon. He knew the bill. He knew it better than some of the people that voted on it. He knew this bill, and he knew it was going to be cutting, his electric vehicle credits like that. Maybe that's what he's upset about. I have no idea. But in case you don't remember, I was very nice to him. That dude showed up with a black eye. I didn't say anything. Because he did. Elon showed up for his last day of work, high and with a black eye that Trump just fully let go. He didn't point at it, didn't motion to it, nothing. Was very chill about the black eye. And then, in the Oval Office, these are some of, not all, but some of the top journalists in America. Obviously, they have questions for Elon of what his plans are. Now that he's leaving Doge, he's going to spend all his time on his companies. They have plans to ask Trump questions about what he's going to do with Doge now that Elon is gone. What's the future of it, right? But these top journalists, the first question that I at least saw them ask was, what's wrong with your eye? Like that's... Nobody gonna say nothing? Like his eye. And then Elon was like, it's actually like a funny story. I asked my 5-year-old, my 5-year-old little ex, I told him to punch me. We were Ralph Hussein. I told him to punch me, and he punched me. I got a black eye. It was actually, he's strong for a 5-year-old. It's kind of funny. Elon said he had a black eye because his 5-year-old punched him. That's a crackhead story if I ever heard one. That is a full crackhead lie. You must have the most synthetic skin known to man if this 5-year-old is out here dodging and giving black eyes. No. And so Trump was like, look, maybe we'll go on to have a great relationship. Maybe we won't, because that's the thing. People come in here with us, they like being here, and then when it's time to go, they either embrace it or they lose their minds. You can tell who broke up with who by how people move after a breakup. You know what I mean? Because while Trump is talking, Elon is tweeting. He's tweeting, and it's a lot. This dude goes all the way back to Trump's old tweets from like 2013, 2015, where he's like, I can't believe what they're doing with the spending bill. This is such irresponsible spending. If you have this much of a deficit, you won't have a country. And he's going back and showing all these old tweets, and he's quote tweeting them like wise words. Once again, you can tell who broke up with who, because for you to scroll back to 2013, you hurt. You are mad. You know how much his thumbs must be exhausted. 2013 tweets. Trump was tweeting 272 times a day, and he made it all the way back to 2013, which means he read them all. He hurt. So he hitting up with the 2013 "this you" text, like that's crazy. That was insane. And he keeps tweeting. He's getting madder and madder. I don't even know what's happening in the background, but he is tweeting himself down a tunnel because every time he tweets, Tesla stock drops by like $13 billion. It's just going down and down and down and down. And he's tweeting up a storm, right? He even tweets out, he's like, you wouldn't have won without me. Okay? If it hadn't been for me, Republicans wouldn't have won the House. The Dems would be in the House. The Dems would have the White House, and you'd have a slim majority in the Senate. You ungrateful. Keeps tweeting, keeps tweeting, keeps tweeting, getting more and more upset. I don't know what's happening in the background, but this man is getting more and more pissed off. He even tweets, every single one of you Republican senators who votes for this bill will be voted out next term, all right? I will put money behind it, okay? He over here, honestly, Elon over here talking like he won the people or something. Like, I was like, what is happening right now? What do you mean, we, dog? Like, make me uncomfortable. But he says it, and then he said, oh, he's getting madder and madder and madder. And then he tweets out threatening Republicans specifically. He's like, look, here's the deal. Trump's gonna be the president for 3.5 more years. I'm gonna be around for 40. That must have sent chills down your spine if you were a Republican senator, any Congress. But Trump is going to be president for 3.5 more years. I'll be around for 40. You could hear the threat in it when you read it. Trump is going to be president 3.5 more years. I will be around for 40. And I was sitting in my room like, not on crack. Like, not on crack. Like, that's not, you must not know what crack is. Like, that's not nutritious at all. The crack is not good for you. You should not have crack. Be around for 40. All right. Oh, it's insane. And then Trump finally tweets. He's had enough, and you can tell he's had enough because we know the type of man Trump is. We know the type of figure he is, the type of president he is. He's had enough of this, and he's been holding back. He's been very nice to Elon. I'm sure in his head he was like, I've been very, very nice to this dude. Elon acts and moves like he snuck into a body. And Trump didn't say anything. Trump is over here like, I didn't mention the jumping, the laughing, anything. This man blew crack smoke on my shoulder, and I was very nice to him. And so then Trump tweets out, he's like, hey, yo, one of the easiest ways for us to save billions and billions and billions of dollars, just get rid of all of Musk's government contracts. That would do it quick. And then Democrats were like, do you mean it? Or like, are you just mad or do you mean it? All right, I was just asking. Okay. And then Elon tweets this clip that is him and Trump in front of a Tesla in front of the White House, and the quote for the tweet just says, remember when? I was like, oh, he hurt. Oh, he must be sick right now. I've been broken up with most of my life, but I've never hit somebody with a remember when. So crazy. Remember when? And then Musk tweets again. He's like, hey, since Trump wants to threaten my government contracts, how about SpaceX just goes ahead and disassembles Dragon whatever ship right now? And that would be all well and good, except there are 4 astronauts in the International Space Station right now that are probably floating like, what did we do? Like, that's... I'm not in this at all. furious going at each other, you know? And then I don't know what pulls the trigger, you know? Trump tweeted one more time and it still felt very reserved. It felt very nice. He was like, look, I don't care if Elon turns against me. I want the big, beautiful bill passed. He can just deal with it. Let's get this legislation done, right? And then Elon tweets out, all right, time to drop the big bomb. Trump is in the Epstein files. That's why they haven't come out yet. Have a nice day, DJT. You can tell who broke up with who because the person that gets broken up with is the one that tries to ruin your life and tells you have a nice day in like the same breath. Oh, that's crazy. That's gonna be a hard one to dig yourself out of because Epstein is like the burying ground. It is the conspiracy 101, right? So many people had podcasts, had hours of content going over Epstein, talking about who might be involved, who's in the Epstein files, who's in the Epstein log, his little black book, all that stuff, going over and over and over it, getting people really feverish over it. And then some of those same people, because of who they are and because who they're connected to, they get in office. They get into government office through Trump, right? That was a mistake because even the hardcore conspiracy theorists knew. When Elon tweeted that out, Trump is in the Epstein files. That's why they haven't come out yet. Almost right underneath is Alex Jones saying, God help us all. Elon done got Alex Jones pressed. Because where do you go from here truly, you know? Where do you go? Because those same people who were talking about, if they just let me in a room full of files, I'd find the Epstein files in 5 minutes. Just let me in the room. And now you're in the FBI. And so when people ask you, what's up? And you're like, actually, it's nothing. Like, don't worry about it. Nothing happened. Just go back to what you were doing. It's not. That does not sound real. I'm not saying anything else is even going on. I'm saying what you have stoked makes it impossible to stomp out. There will never be enough information coming out. There will never be enough stuff uncovered. There'll never be enough files released. You know, they tried initially. They tried. They were like, hey, we're releasing the Epstein file. They even made it like, you know, like a Fox News event. Epstein files coming out 9 p.m. tonight, right? And when they released it to a lot of these like blue check conspiracy theorists, Twitter influence. I don't even know what it's called, but they released it to them. And those people were on fire. Those people were pissed. Because when they actually opened it and they read it, because they meant it. These are true believers, by the way. These aren't people that are like part of the grift. They're reading it and they realize that everything in these things has already been released already. There's no new information in these things. In fact, they did such a bad job of trying to make it look real that they redacted stuff that was already public. And that was, for that conspiracy theory group, very weird. That was very, very weird, you know? And so that was already strike one. And now Elon's saying this, that's strike two. Because it's not like that's new information. We knew that Trump was involved with Epstein. There's literally video of them partying together and stuff like that, like on MSNBC from 1992. Like, that's not news or anything. But when you're a conspiracy theorist and nothing is enough, you know? And so then in the background, people are trying to chill this thing out. There are White House aides, there's Elon's assistants trying to get these two to mediate, not make it any worse than it is right now. You know? And as of the time I'm talking, there's a lot of stuff that Elon's taken down. Like tweets that he took down. And even Trump is trying to be very nice to Elon. They asked him his first interview since all this happened. And he's like, look, I don't know. I'm just trying to run the country. I wish him well and everything. I don't know anything about his drug habit and him being a full-on crackhead. That's not any of my business, right? So publicly, he's putting on a very good face. He's trying to be very professional, very presidential. And apparently, rumor has it, privately, he is calling everybody he knows, like, you know you're a crackhead, right? Like, no, he blew the smoke right on my back. I had to get my suit cleaned. And look, I'm not saying that this is the end of either of them. I don't know if they'll reconcile. I don't think that's even possible. I just know it's the first time that I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with a bunch of people, watching two people go at it like fight. Yo, Detroit, y'all been amazing. Thank you so much.
You guys are so wonderful. Are y'all ready for your headliner? Y'all start clapping right now. Give it up for Josh Johnson.
I don't know if y'all saw everything that's happening with Tesla either. That's crazy stuff. Okay, so basically, if you're not aware, Tesla is an electric vehicle that, you know, rewind just a couple of years was not a political statement at all. It was a car you could buy or not buy. It was just a car on the market that had some stock, and the stock would go up and go down and go up and go down. And then, you know, Elon Musk decides to get involved with politics and gives anywhere from like $250 to I think maybe $270 million to Trump's campaign. And then Trump wins and Elon becomes the president. And so Elon becomes the president, and people don't really know how to feel because this particular thing hasn't happened before. There's always been like millionaires and billionaires donating to campaigns and stuff like that, but this is the most like infused a person has been in like what's gonna happen, and it's very clear in what is self-serving when it comes to like Elon's actions and everything. And so then, you know, inauguration day comes and there's all the fanfare of like this new administration is starting. And there are some people who own Teslas already, like they bought theirs in 2022. And they would tell people, hey, I bought mine in 2022. Like, I don't... Just so you know, I got mine in 2022. I didn't know, and I wasn't a part of, and I was trying to get an electric vehicle to help the environment. I didn't know it would be. So, just so you know about me. And then Elon's giving a speech, and then he says, my heart goes out to you. And then he does like a full-on Nazi salute, right? And does it again, for clarity. And there is a part of me that genuinely, when someone buys something, especially something expensive, and then something happens with that company, a part of me does feel for them, because there are people who bought their Tesla in 2022. They might have been sitting in their Tesla when they saw Elon do a Nazi salute, like... And now you sitting here, you gotta lease this car. I don't know if y'all saw, but Trump released the JFK files, or at least is starting to release the JFK files. And yeah, It's a lot. He said there's like 80,000 pages or something. I think they've released like anywhere from like 2 to 20,000 already, with more to come and stuff. And I don't know about anybody else, but when it comes to JFK and the conspiracies around his death, those were like some of the first moments that you saw, for at least a wide population of Americans, trust in government and its agencies break. A trust that they've never got back since, where like whole government agencies don't have the trust of the people, because up until then, you know, maybe they classified things, maybe they told the public lies or whatever, but they were things that people felt like they could at least get on with life believing. You know, JFK was the first thing for a lot of people that spawned the real like tinfoil hat stuff, what aren't they telling us sort of thing. And so you would see something like this big release of the files, you know, 20,000 with like 60,000 more to come. And it's kind of crazy that everyone sees that and they're like, nah, I'm good. 80,000 pages? I don't think JFK cares that much. That's 80,000 pages. Game of Thrones isn't 80,000 pages. 80,000 pages is insane. What are you doing? You know, it's like the thing is full. It's full. I've read some of it, and it's full of things that are snapshots of the time that JFK was assassinated in, but they aren't things that people were looking for. When people talk about files that they want released, they're talking about things that probably have been destroyed forever, like the some of the autopsy files, some of the coroner's notes, all that stuff like that is not in what's been released. What's been released are the goings on of like Cuba, Mexico City, USSR, and everything. And the one thing that we did find out for sure through the release of the files is that the CIA had a much bigger file and much more knowledge of Lee Harvey Oswald than we previously thought. And they had been tracking his movements and everything. He had been going to these different countries. I'm pretty sure he went to Mexico City for a little bit, and then he went to the USSR. And I don't know if the word is defect, but he basically was trying to leave the U.S., become an expat and join USSR, and even tore up his passport and everything. And the USSR was like, oh, nah. Nah, we good. That's crazy to me. That's someone, you have a CIA file on you and you're trying to move to the USSR, and they are like, you giving off some bad vibes. Like, I don't know what it is, but you creeping everybody out. Like, you stare too much, dog. Like, what are you looking at when you looking over here? It's unsettling. Just take that somewhere else. And so then he came back somehow. Didn't seem like he had a problem coming back, even though he tore up his passport. And then commits the assassination, and then Jack Ruby kills Lee Harvey Oswald. And there were so many people who thought that Jack Ruby's mob ties meant that he was sort of there to close up loose end, you know, that maybe the mob did it. And even now there are people that say, oh no, the mob did it, Cuba did it, the Soviets did it. I think that when you're going through all these pages and you're reading this stuff that we're learning about how much the CIA and the FBI actually knew and didn't do anything, it doesn't really surprise me. It doesn't do much for me in the way of a revelation. And it's probably just because, you know, because I'm black. You know, as a black guy, I'm not going to sit here and be like, not the CIA. You mean to tell me the CIA? Next, you're going to be talking about the FBI. Guys, no. No. No, not at all. Because that's the thing. That's what trips me up too, is all these pages are getting released. There are things that were released during Trump's first administration that were redacted pretty heavily, and then they've been re-released, not redacted, right? Or just one line redacted. So much so that there are people that are actually mad at Trump because they're like, that some of that stuff, some of those people are still alive. What are you doing? You know what I mean? And so then, you know, you'll have like one little line that's redacted, and you'll have someone obsess over that specific line because it's not finding the truth for them. It's about keeping the conspiracy going, you know? Because you'll even see, they uploaded it to the archives. You can check it out in the archives right now. They uploaded everything they've uploaded so far. In my opinion, they've done pretty badly. I think they just had a scanner and they were like, he said today, so... I know it's crooked. I know it's crooked. I know it's crooked. He said today. I know. Some of this, honestly, I looked at some of the files, some of it, some of the handwriting in some of the notes, whether it's written by a CIA agent or like some politicians, some of the notes in there are so bad. Like the handwriting is so bad. I'm like, he did it. Like that's suspicious as hell, handwriting. No. Little thing. Little line will be redacted. Oh, that's what they don't want you to see. That's where all the truth is. It's like, look, maybe. I'm not even saying that's not possible. Maybe. But also, maybe it's just like an address that makes sure that a person who has nothing to do with this doesn't get implicated. You know, there are all types of reasons to redact something. And it's when people put that much weight on the thing to keep the whole thing going that I'm like, you don't want to know. You want to keep guessing, you know? And don't get me wrong, it's fun to guess. I love guessing. I don't know what I'm talking about half the time. Sometimes I'm just guessing. No? Best way I can describe it is I'm a fight fan. So I watch boxing, I watch MMA and stuff like that, and I watch men's fights, I watch women's fights, and I just kind of follow the fighter and follow their journey and enjoy who I enjoy because I like the person and I like their story, right? And there was this young woman, I do not know if she is from Brazil. I think she is because I'm pretty sure she was speaking Portuguese, and she only speaks Portuguese. She doesn't speak English. So after fights, when someone wins, especially if they don't speak the language, they will do the post-fight interview right there. And they might do another press conference later, but they'll do the post-fight interview. And if they do not speak the language, someone will come out, a translator for the promotion will come out. And in this case, her translator was her coach. So she wins the fight, and it's big. It's the biggest fight that she's won of her career. It puts her in the rankings and everything. And so the announcer walks up, and he's like, "Congratulations on a fantastic fight. Was this win mean to you? It's sort of putting you on the map right now against such a tough opponent." And she speaks for like 8 seconds, and then her coach goes, "Thank you so much, everybody, for watching my fight. I really appreciate it. I worked really hard, and thank you so much for the love." And then she speaks for another 8 seconds, and the coach is like, "Everything that I do, I'm doing for y'all at home, from my town, to show you that no matter what, where you're from, you can make it on the world stage." And then the announcer asks her, what are your future plans? What's next for you? You know, now that you're in the rankings, there's a certain opponent you want to call out. And she speaks even shorter this time, for like 6 seconds. And then her coach is like, "Yeah, the next plans are anybody who wants it, all right? I'm taking heads, I'm taking necks. I want your limbs, give me your arms, give me your legs. If I see you on the street, it's already on, you already know. The best thing you could do is drop out of the division right now, because I'm coming for all y'all's necks. I'm killing everybody, all right? You're gonna dream about me, and then when you wake up, I'm gonna be there. That's on God, okay?" I'm killing all of y'all. None of y'all can stop me. None of y'all can touch me. What I did to her was a mercy killing. I'm coming to kill y'all for real. I want your bodies, okay? I'm stacking bodies, all right? And the champ, I'm going to beat the champ, and I'm going to beat the brakes off the champ in her hometown. She's going to bleed in front of her people, okay? And then they exited the octagon. They went ahead and left, and then there was a fighter, because fighters watch other fighters' fights, and they'll live tweet it, and he tweeted right after that whole thing. She ain't say all that. And I'm not gonna lie, that's what those redacted lines feel like to me sometimes, where I'm just like, yeah, look, maybe the whole truth is in the one sentence, but maybe it's in the 80,000 pages that nobody feels like reading. Because Trump said he was gonna release JFK files, and he slowly released them over time, I guess. And then there were people that were like, well, why don't you release the Epstein files? The Epstein files are what we want. That's what we're actually focused on. Why won't you release the Epstein files? Is it because you actually knew Epstein? Is it because you might be implicated? Is it because you were on the flight logs? Why won't you release the Epstein files? All right, and then he does release the Epstein files, but what he does is he releases a bunch of files that were already released like last year, and then redacts some of them to make them look like they're newly half redacted files. And then people called it online immediately. They were like, no, this isn't it at all. And then even the people who were like showing it off and like, look at this transparency, then they got mad because they were like, you made us look like idiots. We thought you were releasing stuff you hadn't released before. And so then people called again, why aren't you releasing the Epstein files? So if you're Trump, you're probably sitting here, the only thing you can do is release the Epstein files and hope it's 100,000 pages. Who would have known the only distance between people and getting to the truth was reading? You know what I mean? We want to know. We as a people have the right to know. It's 80,000 pages. I'm gonna wait till the movie come out. But what are you gonna do? Elon's the president. We know he's the president because, first of all, he tell everybody to report to him, sending whole government employees emails telling me everything you did. It's like, isn't some of that classified? It's wild. You stand in the Oval Office talking about what we're doing. It's like, who is we? Got your son in there. That's how you could tell Trump not the president. Got Elon's son rubbing his boogers on him. I've had a lot of jobs and a lot of bosses, and no boss's child has ever rubbed boogers on me. I will quit before I let your child rub boogers on me. Elon is the face of Tesla, and he's also the face of Doge, this department that's been cutting all these government jobs and gutting a lot of government programs and everything. And I've talked to a lot of people, a lot of people across the political spectrum about Doge, about their actions, and from the time it started to present, right? So some people are like, oh yeah, it's a little bit much now that we're very much on its side. There are some people that still don't see a problem. There's some people that hated it from the very beginning. But one thing that I have not come across, and I only speak for myself, I'm not talking about I can't speak for the entirety of the internet. One thing I've come across is that there is no one who I have come across that says that there's no waste in the government and that they don't want to get to the bottom of what can be saved or what can be put to better use somewhere else. I think that's what generally everybody would want. If you pay your taxes and then you see where money's being wasted, it's like, oh, we have so many people who need that money in other departments, just move it over to them or give it back to the people or whatever the thing is. I don't think people inherently are upset about the idea that there's waste in the government. I know people that work in the government, they're like, this is a little waste. And so all of it comes down to what you cut and how you do it. That's it, top to bottom. That's the only thing anybody could really have a problem with, what you cut and how you do it, right? And I'll be vulnerable for a second. I'll admit to you right now, I've worked jobs. I've worked jobs where I was like, I'm not gonna tell anybody, but like, they really don't need me. Like, as long as they paying, I'll keep showing up, but like... And you end up seeing what happens. Because the thing with whether it's voters or whether it's like rhetoric around how to handle this stuff, there are people who even now genuinely believe, oh, let's get a business person. Let's get someone who's good at business in government so they can run the government as efficiently as they run their business, right? And the problem there is that, like, let's say Amazon. A good example is like, let's say Amazon makes a mistake. And they make a mistake that all of us, everyone here, can acknowledge and see as a mistake. And so as a mistake, their stock drops because they lose some of the faith from their shareholders. Now, we see that drop in the stock, and maybe the mistake they make is they announce that all the cars from now on gonna have 3 wheels. Like, oh, we're gonna save so much money on tires. And we're like, no, you're gonna flip over, okay? And so then you see the stock start to dip because of that lack of confidence. And then for you as a potential investor, even a retail investor, that dip in the stock is an opportunity. You can buy in now. You can buy into that dip, and then when it goes back up, because they realize that 4 is probably best, that you can ride that wave on up. Fair enough. When you crash out a business, when you make mistakes in business, when you run a poor business, you can always start another business. The people who we even look up to as these beacons of industry were all people at some point who had a failed business, right? But the government is not a business, because if you crash out the government, if you make the same mistakes with the government, you don't have a country. And you can't just be like, no, we're just gonna start new America. You know, I used to have like a lemonade stand America, and that one didn't really work out, so I started like a tire shop America, and that still really wasn't it. So then I started this hedge fund America, and now we're cooking. Yeah. It does not work that way. And you saw what happened. You saw Elon run the government because he's the president. You saw Elon run the government the way he ran his business. When Elon took over Twitter, right? He comes into Twitter and he immediately starts firing everybody because he's like, you're waste, you're redundant, I don't know what you do, I don't know what that is, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. And then a couple days after he took over, remember that brief period where he was like, how do you turn it on? And then someone who still worked there, who he didn't fire, was like, oh, you fired the dude who turned it on. Yeah, you asked me for a list of people to fire. I'm not going to put my name on the list. So And so you see, you end up seeing Elon firing people and then trying to like hire them back real quick and trying to like smooth over the things that he broke that didn't need breaking, you know? And then Doge ends up working the same way. It ends up swooping in and firing a bunch of people and then trying to hire some of them back real quick, and it's chaos. And Elon is the face of it. He's the face of it because we didn't know who else was working in Doge. We didn't know who was essentially like hacking into Social Security, who was going around judges' orders, who was breaking things and going to places they weren't supposed to be because we hadn't figured out how this whole thing was going to work. We didn't know. And then we found out that it was children. We found out they leaked the photos of those people that were high up in Doge that were getting into Social Security and the IRS and everything. And We were like, what? Fresh out of school, I saw one kid's picture who was like high up in Doge doing all the breaking in and stuff, and I was like, Peter Parker? I cannot believe that Spider-Man gonna cut off my grandma's Social Security. So I don't think anyone saying like there's no waste, but it's what you cut and how you cut it. You know, I think people would have appreciated like an actual audit. They said that they did one, but usually when you do an audit and you really account for the waste and you really account for what jobs you do and don't need, you don't have to hire anybody back. You know? The amount of people that they fired and then tried to immediately rehire shows that they're not actually being as careful as they should be with the process. Because I'll tell you right now, everyone that has ever fired me stood firm in their decision. I've never been fired and then somebody ran out after me. Hold on. That's my bad. I was wild. I was trying to look good in front of the other employees. You come on back in here. That has never happened. Anyone who has ever fired me has never called me again. But then Elon is the face of it. People don't know what to do. They don't know what to do to express their anger and their disappointment, their frustration about this unelected person gutting these government programs. And you see where people, it's not just like a one-sided thing. It's not just like a liberal thing. You know, there are people who are like, I voted for Trump. I believe in what Doge is doing, but then I'm told that I'm being cut because of bad performance, even though I'm holding right here a performance review for like a month before the election where they said that I was doing great, you know? And so then people across the political spectrum are going to the town halls and they're complaining to the representatives, and the representatives, they're not really hearing them out. They're not really backing them up. So there's even more frustration, and it's bubbling up, and it's bubbling up. And he's the face of two things. He's the face of Doge, and he's the face of Tesla. And so then people go to the Tesla dealership, and he's not there. But people go to the Tesla dealership and they start protesting at the Tesla dealership, and then the stock starts tanking because there are people that are like, being attached to this right now is not a good look, you know? And then people start vandalizing Teslas, start putting swastikas on the Teslas and stuff like that. And then there are people who, you know, bought a Tesla in 2022. They're like, guys, I didn't know. I had no idea. And almost immediately, it felt like almost immediately Trump came to his defense, right? Trump invited Elon to the White House. I mean, he already got an office there because it's his White House. He's the boss. He's the president. But Trump told Elon, hey, bring a bunch of Teslas, park them out front of the White House. We'll do a dealership commercial. This man got in the Tesla. Trump got in the Tesla, was like, everything's computer. Which is not wrong. It's not wrong. I remember my first Tesla experience. You know, I didn't ride in a Tesla for a long time. I heard about it as a car, but I didn't get to be in one, and I don't drive, so I didn't try to drive one or anything. And my first Tesla that I ever got in was an Uber. And so when I walked up, I didn't know about the door. I didn't know the door would be all smooth like that. So this is me. Look, I'm admitting for a second. I'm being vulnerable here. I'm admitting for a second that this is me. This is my bad. I was doing too much in my head. I was doing too much, all right? Know that I know that before I even admit this to you. I was doing too much, right? But when I walked up to the Tesla, I thought my driver sucked the door in because I was black. And I was standing there like, never in all my days have I seen this type of racism. I was fierce. It was all smooth and everything. And so finally, driver noticed I'm not getting in the car, so he rolled down the window. I lean over all indignant, like... And then he started explaining how to open it. I was like, what do you mean you gotta push to pull? That doesn't even make sense. And then I get it with my thumb, and I was like, oh. Oh, okay. Got in the Uber, we took off. And this is the thing with the gig economy jobs, right? Is that, how do I put this? There's a social contract we have not written yet on like how much this is like your property versus my time versus our experience, right? And so when I get in an Uber, I'm very respectful of the fact that this person's car. This isn't my car, right? I'm not renting it so it can be my car for a little while. And we're sharing this time together, but it is my time that I'm paying for, so that's what makes me the customer, you know? So I try to not make any waves. I get in an Uber and I'm just like whatever they need to do. Sometimes there are people who start driving Uber very, very early, so they're tired, and so they got to blast themselves with cold air. They have to have their window down, and I'm like, I'd rather that than us die warm, you know what I mean? So I don't say anything. I'm like, I'll just be uncomfortable on the way to the airport because that's what's keeping this man awake. And this is the person that showed up to drive me, right? So I almost never say anything. It's a very big deal for me to even try to say anything. And I go ahead and I do it, though. I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry. I'm not like, I usually don't do this or anything. But, you know, I leaned over to him and I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. But could you please, like, touch the wheel, like. No, I know it's autopilot. I know it's autopilot. You put it in and everything. I just don't know what I'm paying for if we going. Like if we. Like I'm not telling you how to drive. I'm telling you to drive. Like it would be nice if you did drive. Like. Just put a finger up. Make me believe. Just put a finger. And so you see all of these attacks on Tesla increasing, and the stock price dips and dips and dips, and it goes up a little bit. Every once in a while it goes up because there's some people who don't care about any of this at all, and they see it as an opportunity to buy low, and so it'll go up a little bit, maybe like 3-4% here, and then it drops a little bit more, and it's down from its high by a lot. And you've even seen people like in the Trump administration come out and say, hey, if you vandalize a Tesla, we're treating it as domestic terrorism. We're coming for you if you touch a Tesla, right? And it's just baffling because everything that Trump is doing for Elon and everything that his administration is doing for Tesla is exactly what they were supposed to do for the voters. You know what I mean? Like Trump saw that his boy was having a little dip, was like a little bit more broke than he was the day before. He was like, let me help you out. You know what I mean? That felt like a campaign promise that I thought he made to everybody, but apparently he was just talking to 3 people. And even going after people who vandalize a Tesla as domestic terrorism. Like, when do we ever talk about domestic terrorism? You know how much domestic terrorism we have? It's a lot. And then you see Elon go on the news, and genuinely he seems like really upset, like genuinely hurt. And I think it's because, look, he's still the richest man in the world, but he used to be the richest man in the world by a larger margin. Like, he has lost billions and billions and billions of dollars, right? And he's so affected by it. And I think that maybe he's so affected by it because when these things are such a part of your life, they do become your identity. Maybe being richest man in the world, maybe being seen as this, like, this business guru, this scientific mind, all that stuff crumbles away when the people are not with you, when the people can't stand you, when you've angered them, when they don't want to have anything to do with you, And he sees the destruction, he sees the people turning on him, and he seems genuinely upset. And I don't think his feelings are hurt because some people are mad at him. He's never going to meet these people. I think that when you attach so much of your self-worth to this money and this status, this influence and this power, that even the prospect of losing it can rattle you deep down, right? To your core as a person. And it looks like he's about to cry on the news when he's talking about, I don't know what I did to deserve this. It's like... And look, I'm glad he said that to a camera by himself and not, like, to a veteran's face. Like, he didn't really get that. The dude on Fox was like, you've done nothing to deserve this. You're a true patriot, whatever he said. And, I was sitting here watching Elon get genuinely sad. And I was like, oh... My heart goes out to you.
Welcome to the Josh Johnson Show. This is Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand-up comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm doing okay. It's this feels like weird to say. I didn't know this until this year, but
was that your throat? I'm so sorry.
What?
I think that was your throat. It just went right into the mic.
Maybe. I didn't feel anything.
It was jarring to hear.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
Well, yeah, this sounds weird to say, but July 4th is also my dog Rocky's birthday. And
okay.
Rocky, I can send you a video. Rocky is 19.
He's 19. You were saying he was old.
Yeah.
Because this is the dog that's in Atlanta with your mom, right?
Yeah, baby boy is 19 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's old.
It's so old that no one feels bad for me when I tell people that he's like on his last.
Right.
No one like I tell people and no one is like, oh, I'm so sorry. Like I tell them that he's almost 20 and they're just like, damn. Like no one.
That's the reaction, because it's like, because even when you told me, because I was like, how old is Rocky? And you're like, he's about 20. And I was like, Jesus. Like to me, it's not like it doesn't matter that he's, not doing great or whatever. It's more just like, damn, good for him. That's a hell of a run for a little dog, Like,
yeah. No,
20 is rare in dog.
Yeah. My mom gave him some carrots and ground turkey for his birthday. And he doesn't see as well anymore, so he has to just go for it with his eyes. And the way he lunged at the bowl was like, it was like he was a puppy again. That was like the most alive he had been the whole weekend. He was like, what is that? Oh! No, he was wilding.
Well, good for him.
Did you have a good 4th of July?
I mean, I didn't do anything. I was just kind of here. So, yeah, that's kind of my preferred way
Okay.
to spend the 4th of July.
I'll tell you right now. The thing that I've been thinking about for this episode for quite a while is all 4th of July themed, because to me, it's where a lot of it's where a lot of America's extremes converge, you know?
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of blowing stuff up. There's a lot of cooking. There's a lot of
arguing about the country.
Yeah, there's just a lot of like buck wildness that all converges on July 4th in a way that we try to avoid on Thanksgiving.
I think you're right there, because especially too, there, this year in particular, I've seen it the last few years, but there's always people just being like, you know what, not celebrating this year, America and its decisions, and like totally understand that. But then people arguing about it, and I'm like, right there though, you're participating in the most American thing, which is having a petty argument online.
Yeah.
Incredibly American. You are truly celebrating your country by riling up strangers.
One of my favorites was this is like a few years ago, because so I'm friends with a couple of people in Alexandria still that like do like EMT work, and I think he's like, one of them's a volunteer firefighter, but I think he used to be an EMT and everything. And some of these people would come into the restaurant and stuff and like chat and everything. So there was one where, remember when frying turkeys was just getting big?
Yes.
Okay.
For the 4th of July?
I mean, this person just needed an excuse, I guess. But
that's, I'm like, I know you mentioned Thanksgiving. We're not shifting to Thanksgiving, are we?
We're not at all.
This is a 4th of July story.
This dude this dude took it upon himself to have, the American classic of a fried turkey. You know what I'm talking about?
I want to get sleepy and watch fireworks.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. Let's handle explosives while we're full of turkey.
It's actually the best way to celebrate, because then you get yourself real nice and sleepy off the turkey, and then the fireworks wake you up, and you're just in a terrible state of limbo for the entire evening.
Just vacillating between dozing and startled.
Yeah, it's like taking cold medicine and then drinking a shot of espresso. You're like, I don't know how to feel right now, and none of it feels good. There was okay, I'm sorry I'm digressing here, but just this is a quick thing. There was a kid when I was growing up who swears that that one 4th of July, he was shooting the Roman candles. And did you know you're actually not supposed to hold Roman candles?
Yeah, you're not. Yeah. I think you're, by rule, not really supposed to hold any fireworks, but
I'm not going to lie. If I don't hold it, how am I going to use it? Because now it's just a stick on the ground that's on fire shooting at people's feet.
Right.
They don't give you a stand.
That's what a lot of other fireworks are too, but yeah.
Yeah. They just don't give you a stand, but then they say don't hold it. It's like, well, then don't use it.
I think the don't hold it is one of those things they just have to put on it. It's like the warning label on cigarettes. They still want you to buy them.
Oh, okay.
Hey, get the Roman candles. Like, yeah, of course you're going to aim them at each other. That's the fun. Run around with it in your hand. But, wink, wink, don't do it.
Okay, I see. That makes sense then. Because this kid swears that when he was growing up, he was shooting off Roman candles, and one went into his uncle's mouth.
Should have not taken a drink there.
And it shot right into, because he had shot a bunch of them around, but then when he turned, just the angle of his hand and his uncle talking just went right into his mouth, which made me wonder what Roman candle is then. Is it a little ball? Or like, what's the thing that's burning up with color?
I mean, that'd be like the various gunpowders or whatever.
So then he just had gunpowder in his mouth.
Probably. I mean, I think that's what's in Roman candles. But
okay. Because this is the
and
thing.
Ever since then, Uncle Steve could no longer taste sweet.
I have no proof that this happened, but when that kid's uncle came to pick him up one time, and he just was like waving by at us because we were sitting there talking to him. When that happened, I did see him smile, and he did have a dead tooth. So I mean, maybe it's true. Maybe a Roman candle hit him right in the tooth.
But it's potentially related.
And murdered it. Like,
or he pulled up to pick him up and he's just drinking. You can see it's a piping hot cup of coffee just steaming and he's just slamming it.
Yeah.
Because man can't feel nothing anymore.
Imagine if that's your superpower. Just not really having feeling in your mouth.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'd really be a superpower. It would be just... It'd be a fun fact about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyone you told to, they'd be like, huh, that sucks.
Yeah, they'd be like, that's really sad. That's a shame.
And then they'd be like, eat this candle or whatever. It would always be, hey, eat something then.
Yeah, just to prove it.
Yeah. Yeah. Chew on this, I don't know, bite this fork.
Yeah.
What do you want?
But anyway,
yes.
Out of the sidebar, this dude fried a turkey on 4th of July for his family.
Using gunpowder.
He straight up, this is like something out of an Acme cartoon, though, because he straight up built the platform that the pot was going to be on. And then the fire department was called to his house because he sets the whole thing up himself. Is very proud of it. Is talking about just doing that, that bro stuff, that dad stuff of barbecuing and frying stuff, and doesn't want to hear anything from anybody.
Yep, he's in the zone. That's his happy place.
So instead of even having, how they have the stick with a little hook on the end that people usually hook the turkey to drop it into the instead of any of that,
the barest of safety measures.
Yeah.
Which I have a feeling this guy's about to skip over.
Instead of any of that, this is, and I don't know if he worked there, but do you remember the stick man from? Well, you didn't grow up in like a black neighborhood. Okay, so the stick man is like,
I didn't grow up in a neighborhood, period. I grew up on a farm.
I'm with you. I messed up in even trying to see if you would get what this is. So
No.
The stick man is like a guy who at a big department store or at a big clothing store where they have rows and rows and rows higher than anyone can reach. You hit up the stick man and then he gets the suit, pants, or the whatever that's hanging up too high and uses a stick to do it.
For sure.
Right?
Okay. I've seen those.
Okay.
It wasn't necessarily just one guy at every store we went to, but was this one guy's job?
That's usually that one dude's job.
He's the stick man.
He's the stick man.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. So then this dude is like,
I'm sorry to get hung up.
On stick man?
Yeah, but just like you were just like, dude, you didn't grow up in a black neighborhood. Is that a black thing? Is that there's just
I feel
a
like
stick
only
man?
black people call them the stick man.
Okay, interesting.
I've seen it at
maybe.
like, I've even seen a guy do something like it at a Costco and no one called him the stick man.
Right. Okay. Well, it probably wasn't his only job at the Costco. So maybe these stores, it was the stick man.
Can I tell you that when that dude is not out sticking, he is just on a Bluetooth outside of the store acting like he doesn't work there. So yeah, that's his only job. That's a stick man.
Honestly, sounds like a pretty great gig.
It sounds like an amazing job.
I'm actually down. I want to apply for stick man.
I wonder if he works on commission, because that would be amazing. Now he's just pulling stuff from the high floor for you.
He gets paid.
He gets
For
paid
things he
off the
pulls
dresses
down.
he pulls down. He's like, let me get you. And so,
You sure you don't want this one too? I get paid a little extra for everything I bring down.
so the stick man used to use a little hook that is the same as the turkey hook, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Apparently in some stores they don't do that anymore, and it's like still a stick, but the stick has a function now where it sort of bites the hanger instead of just unhooking.
So just being a hook. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what this guy was using. He was using one of the bite clip things on a long stick to hold the turkey, which is obviously not going to hold it well because the turkey is however many pounds, and this thing is made for grabbing shirts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so a part of me would like to believe that he was a stick man, because that just that means he brings his work home with him. Like,
well, he's got his own sticks at the house for practicing.
Yeah,
he's out in the yard grabbing stuff.
Yeah. Oh, you want a butterball? Let me get you a butterball real quick. You want a butterball and a blouse? I got you. And so then my man is pulling the stick and lets the turkey drop from the teeth of the hook, right? So like the thing opens up, turkey falls, and there's just way too big of a splash.
Of course.
There's just, the splash is just ridiculous. And so immediately the whole pot is on fire.
Just explodes, yeah.
And instead of exploding, it does a James Bond trail away from the platform that he's built, because the platform starts to burn. And that thing, I think it was made out of like Luan or something. So that thing goes up in a hurry. It looked like, you know, like when a magician uses fire and that magic paper burns almost immediately.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Apparently it looked like that, because then it burns so fast that the pot topples over. So now he's just burning his own backyard. And
of course he is.
And like a James Bond movie where there's just a trickle, you know, where somebody's like lit up a lighter thing,
right,
at least a thing, it goes straight to the stack of fireworks in his backyard. And so the fire department was called to his house, because luckily he didn't burn it down, but he nearly burned it down because the whole backyard is on fire. And then the fireworks are going off now in their packaging.
Yeah.
And the funniest part of that story to me, when it was told to me, was that a family member had started calling the fire department as he was dropping the turkey in. So they didn't even wait for there to be a fire.
They were just like, this is going to go bad.
They were like, there was about to be a fire at 800 Cypress Road. Like,
listen, I've seen him work as a stick man, and this man drops everything.
Yeah.
So I'm calling now.
There's a lot of dirty shirts that people are expected to purchase because
man, though, an exploded like fried turkey vat, which then lights a pile of fireworks on fire. That's like an American nativity scene. Like that having that in your yard, that is celebrating the 4th.
That's so funny. Yeah, because I couldn't even understand why he was frying the turkey for the 4th, because it's such a Thanksgiving thing. And I guess you can burn down your house at any point in the year. Like, I guess, you know, you just really just need an excuse. But even the barbecue,
yeah,
barbecuing is safer, and that uses more fire. You know, you actually bring coals, you bring charcoal to a barbecue,
right?
And it's somehow less dangerous than, let me fry a turkey for my family. Also, on not enough notice. Like, it's not like they were coming for the fried turkey. That dude just wanted to do it. Yeah. And so the guy from the fire department was like, hey, my man, just by the time we got there, all the damage had been done. Like all we could really do is pat that dude on the back and let him know his grass will grow again. Like,
yeah. Yeah.
Because it didn't reach
nature will rebound.
Yeah, it like didn't reach the house. Even though, especially in Louisiana, when you're firing off stuff in the city limits and stuff, you gotta be very careful, because a lot of the trees will cross over the street. Like, some of those trees are big that the fireworks can't get through them when you're shooting them up. So we had that problem when I was growing up. There were these people who would put the fireworks in the middle of the street. Mm-hmm. And we were always just like, someone's house is gonna burn down. There's no way it's not. There's like we can see the fireworks not clearing the branches. So then they would fire them off, and it would happen every year. And I couldn't tell if every year it was a different family or if the same family was just being optimistic. But they'd shoot them up, and at least one or two of them you would see bounce back down, and then everybody would run. And it's like, what are we doing? this insanity then?
Yeah. All of our best decisions are made on the 4th. Everyone's really in a prime decision making mode.
Now, did you have any barbecue on the 4th?
This year, no,
Oh, okay.
no, because I got home the 3rd from us being in Arlington, and I didn't sleep that night before, so I kind of spent the 3rd and 4th just existing, just kind of laying out. And I don't do much either because my neighborhood had a lot of fireworks going on, and my dogs do not like that.
Gotcha.
So it's just kind of I took it as an excuse to just chill out,
Yeah.
play some video games.
No, that's fair.
So I didn't do much.
I didn't get barbecue, but we did go to, maybe it was the 4th or the 3rd. We went to Red Lobster, and that was great. That was very good. I remember, I think about all the barbecue that I've had over the years for the 4th or in or around that weekend, and I don't know why, but it just always sort of cracks me up how adamant people are that their method of barbecue is the best. Because you're just be honest, you're mostly burning it. It's weird that dudes get into a battle with each other of I burn it better, okay?
Right.
The way I burn it is more efficient. I just put a flame right on it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love grilling and stuff like that, but I have no real pride in that. I'm just I hope it's edible.
Yeah.
I don't. But yeah, some people I don't know. You reach an age where you need something to make you feel important. That's what I think a lot of it is.
Now,
I think it's just guys being I serve a purpose. I matter.
one of my favorite barbecue anything is where I come from and how there are people who eat, especially if the more rural you live, if you're in Marksville, all that, Tioga, all those areas, and you go hunting a bit more than people who are in proper cities in Louisiana and stuff like that, then you're gonna have your fair share of deer and other stuff that's a bit gamey and everything. And I'll never forget, this dude said that okay, I should back up. So when I was in junior high, I was friends with a couple of people whose family was more rural. They lived in Alexandria, and then their family lived further out. All right.
Gotcha.
And these are I'm trying to remember if I'm trying to get this right. So these people that I'm describing are the direct family to the kid that I went to junior high with, but the in-laws are coming from another part of the country. I don't even remember where, but they were just not country people. All right.
Okay. City slickers.
Yeah, you could call them city slickers. All right.
Huh?
And so the city slickers come through for a 4th of July
quest,
weekend.
they're looking for Curly's gold. Yeah.
Yeah, because there's going to be a summer wedding, and this kid's big sister is getting married to this city slicker son of a bitch. All right.
God, probably a college boy too.
Yeah, probably a college boy with all types of, probably got more degrees than a thermometer,
This city slicking pencil neck college boy.
Yeah.
Coming around here thinking he's better than us.
Probably wears a duck on his collared shirt, or a gecko, or an alligator, making fun of us. And so
doesn't even go catching crawdads. He does.
So basically, they're all going to spend the weekend together, right? As they're spending the weekend together, this kid's dad offers to, do all the barbecuing for the whole family. And since these people aren't from here, and frankly, they probably don't know what good barbecue is, they're all for it, you know?
Yeah.
Like don't come to me with like your, I don't know, Montana barbecue. Like I'm sure it's good where you are, but like if you're coming over from like some big city in Boise, Idaho.
I didn't realize the people from Boise were the big threat to to Louisiana.
I'm just joking. I think they were from Boston. They just the vibes that were put out were very much like money Boston type things.
Gotcha.
When I said like in earnest, they were people who Southern people would probably call city slickers if they lived in the country.
I was gonna say, yeah. If it's
But still, don't come at me with your version of barbecue. You don't know what you're doing. What you're doing is a version of what we're doing that's just frankly not as good because it's so cold in Boston that you need to keep your hands warm. So you're not even paying attention to the meat while it's cooking. You know, you need that
Southerners
body
make
heat.
good barbecue, but they make it unfun. To be honest, you guys are too.
No.
You guys get way too immediately angry about barbecue.
Yeah. Barbecue and football is what will ruin for everybody. We don't care. We'll ruin it with college as well, where it really doesn't quite matter.
Yeah.
We do that in a lot of instances. You would think that for how seriously we take the small thing, we'd be better at the bigger thing. So then for as serious as we are about college football, you would think that all of our NFL teams would be amazing.
Right.
Like they'd just be crushing. And that's not the case. It's very weird. But they come through.
Because even there, you got angry at no one about barbecue. Like even just now, I just wanted to illustrate a point.
I had to represent for the story. I had to let people know that the attitude going into this family weekend for them was like, don't come here. You may read more books than me. You may know who James Joyce is, but don't come to me thinking you have better rubs than I do. All right. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, with your fancy starched shirts and you're coming down here telling me how to barbecue.
I know who Shakespeare is, but do you know who Sweet Baby Ray's is?
I celebrate a true artist, and his name is Sweet Baby Ray.
Sweet Baby Ray's. You ever just took a sip of some Sweet Baby Ray's right out the bottle because it's that good? Maybe you didn't need any meat. You ever take a little sippy sip, huh? Just to make sure that this is the Sweet Baby Ray's that you want on your chicken.
You gotta make sure it's good. I like to sneak a sip at the store just to make sure it's the one I want to buy. I like to open
if it's
up a
not
couple.
good, I put it back.
I put it right back. That's someone else's mistake they can make.
So basically, they offered to barbecue for the weekend, and
the people from Boston,
no,
city
people
slickers?
from Louisiana offered to barbecue, and
so it sounds like no one from Boston offered to barbecue, but you had to let them know. Hypothetically, you weren't okay with it.
From the way that he told me this story, it never sounded like them barbecuing was a threat or a circumstance they had to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that...
Well, the way he was telling it to me was like that he was like, we offered to barbecue and everything because they don't know what they're doing. Like, so he went into a whole thing.
See, that's the thing. Like, at no point were they just like, listen, I really think we should be the ones to barbecue, and they never wanted to. They're visiting. They know their guests.
Someone saying barbecuing like that to me is almost as bad as racism. Like, I don't like that at all.
I was trying to put a New England on it.
if you're hitting the word barbecue with that dialect from The Fighter, I don't want it.
Wow, there goes our fans in Boston.
No, they are great at a lot of other things, but I just don't want to hear them say the word barbecue.
They're great at a lot of things except for saying barbecue.
I would even wager that they're better at barbecuing than they are saying the word barbecue.
Jesus.
What?
Nothing.
Some people should just say BBQ.
Oh, boy.
So they cook up an entire like feast, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know why, but this is just funny to me, I guess. So this whole story may be for naught, but but they cook up an entire feast, and then as they're chatting at the table, and they say grace and everything, and then they start to eat, a couple of the people from Boston are like, wow, this is the best meat that I've ever had. What is this one? And they're like, oh, that's squirrel. And their eyes get like a little like squinty, just like, what do you mean? Do you mean it's like squirrel in the game?
Yeah. Is it like a dish name?
And it's like, no, it's a squirrel. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, well, what's this one? And they're like, oh, that's deer.
That's a bigger squirrel.
And where the people visiting lost it, they were like, what is this one? And honestly, I've never heard of this except for this one time. They were like, what is this one? Because they also had a little bit of snake. They had some snake, which is wild. I don't know if they actually like hunted the snake or whatever, because the deer and squirrel, you imagine that they hunted and froze for an occasion like this. But the other one, snake, I don't know. But the one that they said that I was like, hey, I'm kind of on their side, even though I didn't want to say it in front of him, was skunk.
Ooh.
So they had some skunk meat that they had barbecued up and everything.
That's self-seasoning meat right there.
And I was like, that was when he said it, where I was like, oh, you're like a little too country.
Yeah.
And when his dad proudly said skunk, one of them spit out their food, like spit out their food immediately. And then the others were just looking around, and you could see them all trying to not freak out, like trying to be cool, but they're all realizing that they're like eating the gamiest things. Like they were fully down to sit down and eat like chicken, like beef, brisket, all that stuff, which was there, by the way. So it's not as if these people fed them an entire feast of just skunks.
Right. Still though, I love that this story had the preamble about bragging about barbecue and putting down their taste from it, and then was like, anyway, we made you squirrel and skunk.
Anyway, here's some squirrel, here's some skunk.
Yeah,
and the skunk, you could just see the family dynamic like breaking down, because he was like they were so rude, they were acting all uncomfortable, like they were gonna be sick, and it's like, you were eating the skunk just a second ago, you didn't even know it was skunk. And I was like, yeah,
you gotta warn somebody though.
I was like, I was just trying to go along. I was like, it's crazy, man. That's wild that they didn't want the skunk, because if I had been there, I would have been like, gah, 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 gah. Like, I didn't even know what he wanted from me as he was telling me the story. Because even in the story, it's like, you're kind of in the wrong.
Yeah.
Like you didn't tell them a thing that I don't think anybody eats.
Yeah, not really. I mean, unless the most country people.
I've seen people eat squirrel. That's not even my issue. I could see how some people would be opposed to eating it, because they might be like, hey, no one is regulating this one.
Yeah.
Like you could be eating straight rabies at the moment.
That is meat you found. Even if you hunted it, you found that meat.
Yeah. And that's also, that meat is also mostly bullet. Because there's no way, at least with a deer.
I'll take my bullet medium rare, please.
Yeah, you could shoot a deer and then eat all the deer.
There's a lot more deer, a lot of other deer that you did not shoot.
But when you shoot a squirrel and it explodes, I'm assuming there's nothing left to eat.
They use small caliber. It's but no, still you gotta.
I'll tell you right now, I don't even know how there was enough squirrel to go around. They must have shot 10,000 squirrels.
Yeah, they found a community of squirrels
and just laid bare in whatever squirrel cave they were in.
Yeah,
because there's no way that there was enough squirrel to really go around. Yeah, I remember him being like truly indignant, and I honestly didn't know what to say.
Yeah, because how do you? Because you can't disagree because he's angry that people didn't love his surprise skunk. So he's not going to be open to a counterpoint. But
But
yeah, but how do you get excited about it?
maybe you just put a table setting with a black and white streak on it,
Yeah, there
just
you
so
go.
people know where the skunk is.
Yeah, I think generally most mysterious meats should be labeled. Go ahead and just put with the species, so I can mentally prepare.
Because I'm not even saying an absolute unequivocal no. I'm just saying let me make that decision for myself.
Exactly. Let me decide. I'm not saying I won't try it even. You know what I mean? But just let me know what I'm trying.
Yeah. Because the fact that I mean, I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly how they reacted. That was so offensive, but I imagine they reacted like if you told someone it was cat.
Yeah,
because apparently one person spit it out immediately, and then the other people just were like, kind of getting like, "Ooh, is it hot in here?" And then they left like soon after.
Do I smell? Am I turning into a skunk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like soon after they found out it was skunk, they left.
Which is interesting because it's like, I mean, it's an animal. It's no grosser than the animals we already eat. It is just funny how like if you're used to eating a certain type of animal, you're not immediately disgusted by it.
And it like, I don't know what kind of Romeo and Juliet rift it caused between his big sister and the person that she was supposed to marry. Because because they're there to like
the
meet
marriage
each
didn't
other.
happen.
That'd be so funny.
It's from that meeting.
If they were like, no son of mine is gonna marry some skunk eater.
You're not marrying that filthy skunk eater. I'm just a Kennedy now.
Yeah, I was like, isn't that just JFK?
Yeah, well, they were from there. They were from Massachusetts.
Oh, okay, no, I'm just saying that was a very specific one.
I will not allow my son to marry some filthy skunk eater.
It would be even funnier if one of them, especially for how he was describing them, of just very like hoity-toity, whatever. It would be very funny if one of them did kind of get some rabies. Like that, like
Just a little bit.
just like if they went back to their yacht club and they were like, "I say, Jefferson, you're foaming at the mouth."
Back up, or I will fucking bite you. I bet too they weren't hoity-toity at all. I bet that's just his version of them in the story because the skunk put them off.
Yeah.
I bet they showed up and were just nice and were trying their best, and then they were like, "What's this skunk?" And he's like, "These fucking these uppity assholes thinking they're better than us." It's like, no, most people don't eat skunk. So.
Yeah. Oh, I guess you're too good for our snake.
I guess you're too good for the meat I found in the woods.
Look at the city slicker who thinks that he's too good to eat a sack of venom. Because some people don't know what they're doing.
Exactly, yeah.
There are some people that are like, "Oh no, that little pebble, you can eat that. That's just a little rock."
Little rock, good for you.
One of my
rock every now and then.
favorite like snake things was and this is one of those things where we went to, I think it's in Marksville, there's a guy called the Rock Man, and we went there every year at my elementary school as a field trip about like geology and stuff. And he's
sure your area just doesn't have people whose sole identities are just singular objects? The Stick Man, the Rock Man,
the Stick Man, the Rock Man.
Skunk Man.
There was a Firework Man. So
Man. Yeah. See, I think now I'm wondering if this is just your area that everyone is just assigned their object.
Yeah, everybody just has a job that they can't quit because I live in.
Here's your blunt tool and your identity. Here you go. You are Stick Man now.
So we would go to the Rock Man every year, and
this dude had all types of rocks for like lots and lots of different prices. So he was making money because as kids, we'd be like, oh, I'll buy this $1 rock that looks very cool and is polished and purple and everything like that. And then he had the crystal people, like the really like out there hippie people would buy crystals from him and stuff. And then he would just have these beautiful, like, I don't even know what you would call them, but it's like when you cut a rock in half and there's like all these shards of amethyst and everything that's like
aren't those geodes?
Yeah. So he would sell the biggest geodes I've ever seen in my entire life.
Damn.
So I've been to a couple places, like even Sally and I were in Arizona and we went inside this rock shop that had some pretty big ones for like a good chunk of change, but still was like nothing compared to what this dude had. Because he had essentially dedicated his life to it, and he was like
He's the rock man.
Yeah, he was kind of like a self-taught geologist almost, because he would describe to us what the differences in the rocks were, but he wasn't, I don't think he held any degree or anything. He just had an internet connection and the will to dig.
The will to dig.
And so this dude told us, and then we saw it as well, and it was, this whole thing was way more terrifying than, I think they thought it would be cool, and it was just scary. We go on this field trip, and the guy lives on his property that he sells the rocks from. And he talks about how one day he was going to the bathroom and he felt something. And when he stood up and turned around, a rattlesnake was in his toilet. And so the rattlesnake in his toilet jumped out at him, and he managed to dodge it and then like promptly stomped it to death, right? But then
he cooked it up for his friends from Boston.
Then he made a toilet seat cover out of it. And it's in the bathroom right now. And it was one of those things where I really had to go to the bathroom. Like, even as he was telling this story, I was holding it.
Right.
And so then I was like, should I just piss myself? Because he didn't make it sound like another snake couldn't come through the toilet.
He wasn't clear that it was an isolated incident.
Yeah, he was just like, I killed the last one that did it. I'm like, hey, what? Don't tell me that and then be like, oh, and by the way, it's at the end of the hall to the left.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, if you go down the hall, that's the snake room. Sorry, bathroom. If you go in there, I forget because there's always so many snakes in there.
And then I see
I've heard of like snakes getting into toilets. I've never heard of a rattlesnake getting into a toilet. I didn't think that was a thing they liked, was being in water. Like that,
I mean, there wasn't much water in the bowl. Like this dude is living on the slightly off the grid. Like he's on the grid enough for us to find him, but he's not really there. Because when you go to his property, you're like, rattlesnakes would love this.
I love that this started as like, this is going to be a 4th of July episode, but really this has just been a very telling episode about where you're from. This has been a really...
Hey,
this isn't about America, everybody. It's about Louisiana.
Look, this is about celebrating heritage.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, the stick man is my new 4th of July mascot. You know, the 4th kind of needs one. We don't have a good. It's just a guy grabbing stuff with a stick.
The stick man's here forever. As long as there are oversized department stores that are overstocked, there will be a stick man.
As long as there are shelves, there will be stick men.
God.
By the way, it is like just after 1 p.m. on July 6th, and I just heard some fireworks going off.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, that we're
There's
recording.
nothing like the late
They're popping
ones.
off right now, yeah.
There's nothing like the really, really late ones where it's like July 8th, but you still got some leftovers.
When I'm going to get my money's worth, okay? I'm not taking a bath on these fireworks, all right?
Taking a bath? Is that what you say?
I've heard that phrase before.
Taking a bath on
If you're getting,
fireworks.
especially if you're like getting screwed on something. But I ain't going to lose money on this.
Oh,
right?
man.
I remember I think we talked about it before, but like our old neighborhood in Chicago that we lived in Rogers Park, like that was a straight month of fireworks.
Yeah, yeah.
It would start 2 weeks before the 4th, and it would go 2 weeks after. And like clockwork, too. It was a full month of just explosions.
Now, because I guess I've never told you, all of these things are happening in tandem right now. I've never told you about the Firework Man.
No.
Okay, so this dude owns...
Yeah, I'm getting introduced to the Louisiana Avengers here.
Yeah. Stickman,
Rockman,
and Rockman.
Firework.
I'm sure there's a couple... I'm sure there's a couple others that I'm just forgetting. Oh, yeah. There's one of them that I've never told you about because it's just too... Yeah. Okay. So the Firework Man.
Well, that was fucking ominous.
Yeah. It's like I don't even think you'll enjoy the story. The Firework Man owns like an entire. What would you even call it? It's not like. It's basically kind of like the what do you call the thing that the 18-wheeler is dragged? So you know how there's like. The bed of a truck is behind the...
Yeah.
Okay. When you have an 18-wheeler...
Sure.
What's the front of it called?
The cab?
Okay, so what's the cab pulling?
The trailer?
Okay, the trailer, I guess. The way... I'm trying to describe exactly how it looked, because the people, especially that I went to elementary school with, will probably...
The big box with wheels.
The big box with wheels also works, I guess. But basically, the way that this works is he had converted like 3 18-wheeler type trailers together, all to like sell all the fireworks that he had, and then they would flap up. Like he had truly converted them, like he had cut holes in them so that there'd be an awning when he opened it up and everything. And it was, I think, just outside the city limits so that you could buy from him.
This is like a traveling mini mall he's invented.
Yeah, but he leaves it there. That's the crazy thing, though. He leaves it there all year, and he only sells 1 month out of the year. So I don't know if he actually leaves the fireworks in there all year, but, you know, that whole thing and that whole plot of land that he seems to own is
like
all
a Halloween
for 1
superstore.
month. Yeah.
Just sits there for the rest of the year, unused.
Yeah. And so, who was it? I remember like a few people that I grew up with bought from him. And I'll never forget, I never got to like meet this dude or anything. Because also, you never know. It's like sometimes you just have to be like careful around certain people. Because like, I'm not putting this on him, but like, I'm pretty sure that he sold some fireworks where I was a little like, oh, are you like a bad person? Like, I don't know.
Are you like the Unabomber?
Yeah. Because he'd sell some that like you're like, I've never seen anything. Like he had the sparklers and he had the Roman candles, all the stuff you're supposed to get.
Right.
But then I remember one time this kid was talking about going there with his dad and then trying to buy this big one from him because basically his dad wanted to save money. So rather than getting a bunch of the little ones that they have to keep popping like all day to nothing, because especially I think that's just like a dad thing, like not just the saving money, but we're not going to pop these off when it's still light out.
Well, I want to get the full, the full experience.
Effect.
Yeah.
And so he was selling these things with like long, insane names, like the rocket triple launcher and all this stuff like that was set up to keep popping inside of it. So think of like a Roman candle that's like stocked into the ground, and it's gonna have all the designs and stuff. So he's selling like these. Almost like the Chinese ones with like dragon designs and stuff like that they're supposed to do. And then there was this one where it was just like a box that didn't have any, it had like a label in Sharpie. And he's like, what's this one? And the guy's like, oh, I made that one myself. And they were like, oh, okay, that sounds rough.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound great. Sounds like you don't even know if this will work.
Yeah.
I want a firework that'll explode in the air, not Not 2 feet off the ground.
No, he'll get, you throw it.
Yeah.
He'll get in the air. He just needs a little help, all right?
And then there was one.
You want to be like on a roof or something? Then yeah, this is the one for you.
I feel like he was probably just trying to upsell, but this kid said, it's like an urban legend about him, I guess. This kid said that he grabbed, what was it?
Oh,
It was
boy,
like-
but you need to finish this sentence, though.
He grabbed like a square type firework from him that was like a
Okay.
one shooter. And he was like, how
Oh, the
much is
kid
this one?
grabbed. For a second, you're like an urban legend about him. He grabbed, and I'm like,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, that's why I was kind of like, you got to say the end of this sentence.
Oh, my bad. No.
Because the fireworks man sounds like someone who would have rumors about him.
And so he grabbed this like square little packet that was a one shot, like you just light it goes off. And
Okay.
and then the kid was like, how much is this one? And the dude was like, oh, that'll take your finger off. And just took it back from him. And I guess he wanted him. I guess he wanted him to be like, no, let me have it. And then he could like upsell it.
Right.
But once he said take your finger off, the kid was like, fair enough. We've purchased
That's
a lot.
fair. We have a other assortment of child endangerment that we've already purchased. You can keep that one.
Yeah.
Oh boy, the fireworks man, huh?
Fireworks man. I mean, who knows? That dude was probably just Greg to most people, and kids called him the fireworks man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if that thing spread the way that I'm putting it out there as if it did. I know I call him the fireworks man,
Right.
but my friends and I don't account for the rest of the whole town. I'm sure that for some of these people, they are just known by their name and that's it. Like
Probably,
the
yeah,
stick man
probably.
is probably just Charlie.
That's Charlie. Everyone knows. Hey, get Charlie. He'll get it down.
Yeah.
And someone's like, go get the stick man. They'll be like, he has a name,
Now, to be fair,
and it's Charles.
the entire class and school that would come called him the Rock Man. That dude was the Rock Man.
See, I think that's different though when you do a thing like where you work with kids. Then you want to be the something man.
He had plenty of opportunities to tell us his name.
Yeah. We used to have this guy who he like worked for. I think he worked for like the DNR or whatever around. He was kind of a not like a nature expert, but he'd come around and always do it. And his name was Dan, and we all just started calling him Dan the Nature Man. And I think just that still is just within like all the kids still, because I subbed there and he was around, and I heard some of them refer to him as Dan the Nature Man. I'm like, I think we started that, and that just stayed as school parlance. Like that, all the kids now just know him as that. I don't think anyone else calls him that. I think it's just stayed in the middle school ever since I was there.
I like how I like to think he likes it enough that his name is just Bobby, but he just goes with it. It's like, yeah, I'm Dan.
Well, his name is Dan. His name is actually Dan. So it's
How do we know?
yeah.
If he lets
I wanna-
nicknames take off, how do we know he doesn't let the wrong name take off?
That's true. He just snaps one day. He's like, "It's Robert." I know that doesn't rhyme with Nature Man, but my name is Robert. Hey man, should we open up the mailbag?
Yeah, let's do it.
Especially since we didn't do it last time.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Let's do some of these ones I meant to do last time. These are some about our 100th episode, but my camera died. This one here, this is from Lizzie, and the title is To President Squeaks. And it says, Hiya, if you don't feel comfy reading this on the pod, it's fine. But after a long while of listening, I felt the need to voice my thanks and also so very cheekily ask maybe a favor. I started listening in October 2020, I believe, and shortly after got acute pancreatitis. I'm sorry, Logan, but having Mr. Squeaks in A&E, what is A&E? That must be some hospital.
I don't know.
But Mr. Squeaks in A&E was wonderful company as a painfully chronic extrovert in hospital quarantine. You're welcome, I think. I'm not sure how to Honestly, though, I have had a rough few years, and you two have got me through it, but this email isn't about me. My sister Alice, who loves the pod, is 6 months sober tomorrow. This would have been from last week. And no matter when or how you read this, if you could wish her a happy 6 months, it would make my year. So incredibly grateful, Lizzie from London. Hey, Alice. Congratulations. You did it. Hang in there.
Hey,
Killing
Alice. Happy 6 months.
Happy 6 months. Good for you. Staying strong. Doing your thing. Kicking ass. And also thank you, Lizzie, for that email.
Yeah, thanks for letting us know. We're glad we could keep you company, you know?
Yeah. Oh, so this is about, I think it was our 99th episode. So this is from, just says NWE, and longtime listener, curious about Open Mouth Puppet Master. That sounds like a personal ad in like the classified.
Yeah. Seeking open mouth.
Open Mouth Puppet Master.
Wow.
Dear Josh and Logan, I'm emailing you in regards to episode 99, Say Something Dummy. Did the friend that went on the date with the puppet master ever tell them that the restaurant was making fun of them by prolonging his act? I kind of feel bad for the guy. If I was on the date, even if he was bad at the act, I would have told him that and told the restaurant off for choosing to humiliate him that way.
Two things. To my knowledge, no. And then
Right.
second, this doesn't seem like someone you can humiliate. Like, from what she told me, it seems like even if you had been like, stop, they're making fun of you, he'd be like, still getting some practice in.
He's still talking through the puppet. Here's the thing, too. I kind of feel bad for him, too, but that is immediately offset by the fact that he brought his ventriloquist dummy to a date. So
Yeah.
I no longer, it's hard to feel bad for a terrorist.
Yeah.
It's hard to, because also he planted it somewhere. And that's the part that hangs me up the most.
Yeah.
Is that he had it at the ready somewhere. If it wasn't outside in his car, any other option aside from that is fucking wild.
Yeah, it's actually wilder if it's at coat check.
Yeah.
And someone had to
Yes.
give him his dummy back. And he's not leaving.
Yeah. And then he's got to get the puppet has to get its card to get its coat. Let's read this one since we literally just saw this person, but this is 100 episodes. Hi, J-Lo Goths. This is from our friend Allie. Hey, Josh and Logan, I can't believe you're almost at 100 episodes. I mean, we've already done it. They sent this right before. Congratulations on the success of this podcast as well as your individual successes. You're both killing it, and I'm proud of you, even though I don't know you like that. Hey, I'll still take it.
Yeah. I
It
love
still
a good
means a
proud
lot.
of you. I'm never going to
proud
deny
of you.
it.
From anybody. Anyone can say they're proud of me, and I'll be like, nah, thanks. Doesn't matter. That's good. One of my favorite episodes was Getting Zen with Joshy when you talked about meditating. I'm heavily invested in learning about emotional regulation, and a lot of things Josh said resonated with me. Plus the okay, I almost read this wrong. Plus Eastern philosophy fucks. That's how. I also appreciate how in discussing meditation, it slowly became a critique of capitalism. Nothing but solid truths. I didn't remember that it's the same episode with the story of the weed head grandma, which made me love it even more. As a frequently zoinked individual, I fully support this woman and hope she one day gets to Gnome the mailman. That sentence was full of so many in references to our show.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
For future episodes, I'd love to hear more esoteric, anti-capitalist, bad review, stonery, goth, and or emo stories. Logan's puns are a must, especially because Josh hates them. Speaking of goths, I made some drawings for y'all to add to your collection of broody fan art. I drew Josh as a traditional / vampire goth because I get that vibe from him, and since he's a self-proclaimed vampire hunter, originally he had eyebrows, but I removed them because that look goes hard. For Logan, I gave him a punk goth look to match his bold disposition with spikes of his leather jacket to ward off any small talkers. He listens to Nick Cave and the Bad Squeaks, obviously. I also gave him an almost mohawky hairstyle that is closer to emo than goth because he thinks MCR is goth when they are, in fact, emo, though this is widely up for debate. Listen, I'm not trying to start anything. I just feel like they're in the neighborhood. Hope you guys like it. I'm excited to see y'all in Arlington again next week. Much love, your friendly neighborhood townie, Allie. Thank you for that. And she sent us this amazing fan art. They were the ones I already showed you. Do you want me to bring them back up, or I'll put them in the video?
Sure. Put them in the video.
They'll definitely be in the video version of this. I think I'm going to try to... Someone suggested, too, that maybe I need to make a database of all of the goth drawings we've been sent to put somewhere. So that might be something I might be collecting them all again to to put them in some sort of online gallery.
Yeah,
for people to view.
For sure.
Because we have a lot going. These ones, though, are fantastic. So thank you for those, Allie. And it was great seeing you in Arlington and everyone else we got to see in Arlington.
Yeah, thank you, everybody that came out to Arlington. We had a great time, and it was great to meet you.
Very fun time.
Thanks so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. We had a great time recording. I hope you had a great time listening. If you are looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on Instagram, at Josh Johnson on Twitter, Josh J Comedy on Facebook, and Josh Johnson Comedy on TikTok and YouTube, where we're going to be posting clips of the show. You might be watching one right now. And if you're looking for Logan,
you can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get into the mailbag like those wonderful people there, you can email us joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. And if you want some bonus content, you can join our Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. Oh, and we got a live show coming up at the end of July in New York. A live podcast. So if you're in the area, come see us.
Doing it. Living
forever. Together forever and never to part. It's the song I sing every time I see Josh.
And I hate it. I don't like it.
He doesn't like it. He doesn't like it, but
doesn't care. I tell him to stop, and he won't.
Not getting rid of me. Not getting rid of me, you little scamp.
All right.
I'm like a growth.
Oh, God.
Yeah?
Okay, so I'll stop recording now.